Welcome back, everyone. Today's lesson will focus on the benefits of exercise and ways to get your body moving. Before we begin, please email your primary care provider with any questions you may have from the previous week. This is a great opportunity to solidify new information you may have learned. Taking notes of successes and failures over the previous weeks can help redefine your goals and refine your focus. Make sure to take a minute and think about both of the successes and failures you've experienced over the past week. I'm going to briefly review the objectives that we will address in this online lesson. At the completion of this online lesson, you will be able to explain the benefits of exercise on improving insulin resistance and lowering insulin need. Establish a physical activity goal. Explain the importance of a physical activity goal. Describe your current activity level. Name the ways you are already physically active and how to make active choices. This is referred to as a lifestyle activity throughout the day. Describe the difference between endurance exercise, strength training, high-intensity interval training, and progressive relaxation. Understand contraindications for exercise and alternative forms of activity for these situations. On page 13 of your handbook, take a minute to write down what your current activity level is. Are you currently engaging in no exercise? Some exercise in the form of occasional walks or maybe an active job? Or are you a vigorous exerciser? The next 4 slides will review the benefits of physical activity, along with reviewing what is exactly meant by lifestyle activity and how to incorporate such lifestyle activities into your daily life. A brief list of lifestyle activity examples is listed on the screen. These activities include taking the stairs when there is an option to do so, walking on breaks at work, even if it's for only 10 minutes, parking further away from the door at the store, and putting a stationary bike or treadmill in front of your TV. This way you can enjoy your favorite evening TV program while getting some exercise in. As we are all aware, there are many benefits to being physically active. When you have diabetes, the benefits of physical activity are numerous and really play a key role in helping control blood sugars. Let's begin reviewing the many benefits of physical activity. Physical activity improves insulin sensitivity, which means your body's insulin will work better. During exercise, your body burns glycogen. Glycogen is the blood sugar stored in your muscle. After exercise, your muscles must replenish their glycogen stores with the glucose in the bloodstream. This lowers your blood sugar. Exercise also reduces body fat, helps strengthen and tone muscles, improves circulation, preserves bone mass, reduces stress and enhances quality of life, makes your joints more flexible, reduces back pain and risk for injuries, lowers your risk of heart disease, raises your HDL, your good cholesterol, lowers triglycerides, which is another form of cholesterol, and lowers blood pressure. As you can see, the list is long and the personal benefits you will reap from increasing your physical activity are numerous. We are excited to hear about your experience with increasing physical activity and the personal benefits you experience. Now we will review the topic of lifestyle activity. What is lifestyle activity? Lifestyle activity involves making the active choice rather than an inactive choice for getting somewhere throughout the day. Can you think of an example of how to add activity into your everyday life? I will give you a few moments to jot a few ideas down. Here are some common examples we came up with that you may be able to start incorporating into your everyday life. Get off the bus one stop early and walk the rest of the way. Walk down the hall to a coworker instead of calling or emailing them. Walk to a nearby store instead of driving. Use a rake rather than a leaf blower. Stand while on the phone instead of sitting. Wash your car instead of going through a car wash. There are many issues, things, scheduling conflicts that prevent us from being physically active. These are known as barriers. Everyone has barriers that prevent them from being physically active. Let me repeat that. Everyone has barriers. You are not alone. Some people have just a few barriers that keep them from being physically active, while others have many barriers. The first step in overcoming these barriers are to recognize them. You can then begin the process of developing ways to overcome them. Please turn to page 18 of your handbook and start jotting down the barriers that prevent you from engaging in physical activity. You may want to pause the video for a minute or two so you can jot down your personal barriers. Now that you've had a few minutes to think about the barriers in your own life that prevent you from being physically active, we will review the many common barriers that pose challenges to busy adults for scheduling time to be physically active. Here are a list of some of the common barriers we have came up with. You simply do not have enough time for exercise or find it inconvenient to do so. You lack self-motivation. Do not find exercise enjoyable, find it boring. Lack confidence in the ability to be physically active. You have low self-efficacy. You have a fear of being injured or have been injured recently. You may be intimidated by going to the gym and potentially feeling fat-shamed. You lack self-management skills such as the ability to set personal goals, monitor progress, or reward progress towards such goals. You lack encouragement, support, or companionship from family and friends. You do not have parks, sidewalks, bicycle trails, or safe and pleasant walking paths convenient to your home or office. As we reviewed on the previous slides, we are now aware of the many benefits of physical activity and the impact it has not only on improving our overall well-being, but the dramatic impact that exercise has on lowering blood sugars. It is crucial to identify our personal barriers and brainstorm ways to overcome these barriers. On the next 3 slides, we will review some common ways to overcome the most common barriers listed, and our hopes are that you utilize some of these barrier-breaking recommendations to establish goals for increasing the physical activity in your own life. One of the most common barriers is time, or lack thereof. Here are a few ways to overcome the barrier of time constraint. Identify available time slots. Monitor your daily activities for 1 week. Identify at least 3 30-minute time slots you could use for physical activities. Write this down on your work calendar, on your personal calendar. Set a note in your phone. Make a note that you plan to go for a walk at least 15 minutes or so on your lunch break every Wednesday. Make this a goal. Write it down. This is important. Add physical activity to your daily routine. For example, walk or ride your bike to work or to the grocery store. Organize work activities around physical activities. If you have a flexible schedule, aim to go into the office 15 minutes later so you can take that extra 15 minutes to walk to work. Exercise while you watch TV. Park further away from your destination. Select activities requiring minimal time, such as walking, jogging, or stair climbing. Another common barrier is lack of energy. Try scheduling physical activity for the times in the day or week when you feel most energized. For some people, this is early in the morning. Consider buying a home workout video and getting up 30 minutes earlier to complete the video. For others, this could be late at night. You too could do a home workout video. Purchase a used piece, or you could purchase a used piece of exercise equipment such as a treadmill or some weights and exercise in the evening while watching your favorite TV program. Also try to convince yourself that if you give it a chance, physical activity will actually increase your energy level. Another barrier often noted is lack of motivation and lack of resources. Plan ahead. Make physical activity a regular part of your weekly schedule and write it on your calendar. Invite a friend to exercise with you on a regular basis and have you both write this down on a calendar. Accountability can be key for many. Join an exercise group or class. There are many classes at your local gym that are for beginners. It is okay to be a beginner. Allow yourself to be a student of exercise and learn a new skill, movement, routine geared towards improving your physical fitness level. You may also select activities that require minimal facilities or equipment, such as walking, jogging, jumping rope. Additionally, you may identify inexpensive, convenient resources available in your community. Community education program, Park and Recs program, work site programs are just to name a few. Lack of skill, fear of injury, family obligations are just a few more barriers that commonly prevent people from engaging in exercise. To overcome this, select activities requiring no new skills, such as walking, stair climbing, or jogging. Take a class at your local gym or your local Park and Recs department to develop new skills. Learn how to warm up and cool down to prevent injury. You can find great warm-up, stretching, and cool-down tutorials on YouTube. Simply type in exercise warm-up routine and stretching routine and you'll have a variety of different videos to choose from. Learn how to exercise appropriately considering your age, fitness level, skill level, and health status. Again, utilize YouTube to search exercise routines, to search for video demonstrations of proper movements and exercise. This is a great visual resource. You can learn how to properly do a sit-up, a push-up, an air squat, tricep dips, and even how to swing a kettlebell through watching YouTube videos. You may also choose activities that involve minimal risks, such as walking. Trade babysitting with a friend or neighbor who also has children. Exercise with your children. Go for a walk, engage in an exercise game video together. Work out at home. We will now move on to the portion of this lesson that reviews the different types of exercises. I have attached a video introduction for each type of above listed exercise that will aid in your understanding and knowledge of the different forms of exercise. I encourage you to take a minute to watch each of these videos. The next several slides will touch on each of these exercise modalities: endurance training, strength training, high-intensity interval training, also known as HIIT, and progressive muscle relaxation. We will start with endurance training. This is any activity, walking, jogging, swimming, biking, that increases your heart rate and breathing for an extended period of time. In the short term, a decent amount of calories can be burned during endurance training, such as walking, running, swimming, biking. This will help lower blood sugars during and immediately after the exercise is performed. For example, a brisk 20-minute walk after dinner will help lower your current blood sugar. The mint green graph on the right of the screen is a walking program designed for beginners to slowly increase their endurance over time. Here is a breakdown of the graph. Day 1, warm up. Stretching, slow walking, just enough to get the blood flowing for 5 minutes. Walk for 5 minutes at a pace that is comfortable, but enough to know that you're pushing yourself slightly. Then cool down for 5 minutes. This can be a leisurely paced walk. Day 2, or even week 2. For some of you, you may be ready to advance to the next level of the program on day 2. Others remain on step 1 for a week. That's okay. Do what's best for you. You will warm up for 5 minutes, then briskly walk for 7 minutes. Then again cool down for 5 minutes at a leisurely walking pace. Advance to what is tolerated for yourself. Listen to your body and don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Those with severe arthritic conditions should avoid heavy endurance training. Next, we will review strength training. This form of exercise is a type of exercise using resistance from bands, weights, and occasionally your body weight to induce muscular contraction, which builds the strength, endurance, and size of skeletal muscles. For all you women listeners out there, lifting weights will not make you bulky or cause you to gain weight. Women simply do not have the testosterone needed to build bulky muscles, and remember, the sheer size of 5 pounds of body fat is about twice that of 5 pounds of muscle. Strength training will improve glycemic control by building lean muscle, which improves insulin sensitivity and metabolic rate. Although it may not burn as many calories in the short term, it has long-term positive effects on glycemic control. Certain body regions should be avoided if there is an injury, such as tendinitis, a recent strain or sprain, or severe arthritis. I'm going to review an example of a strength workout plan. It is listed for you on the screen. You will want to complete 2 to 3 rounds of each letter group, taking a 1 to 2 minute rest before moving on to the next letter. For example, let's look at letter A, squats and dumbbell rows. You will do 10 squats, followed immediately by 10 dumbbell rows. You will repeat that couplet 2 to 3 times before moving on to letter B. Remember to rest 1 to 2 minutes before each letter couplet. You will then move on to deadlifts and push-ups. You will perform 10 deadlifts followed immediately by 8 push-ups. Repeat this couplet 2 to 3 times with as little rest as possible between the movements. You will then rest 1 to 2 minutes before moving to letter C. After your 1 to 2 minute rest, you will perform a 30 to 60 second wall sit followed immediately by a 30 to 60 second plank hold. You will repeat this 2 to 3 times. Again, reviewing the video links posted early in the PowerPoint will help you solidify your understanding of this exercise modality. If you are unfamiliar with any of the above mentioned movements, I encourage you to Google the terms or YouTube them. You will find wonderful visual examples that walk you through the movements step by step. You may even find an exact tutorial. YouTube is a great resource to utilize frequently when learning new movements and familiarizing yourself with exercises. I encourage you to use this often. Next, we will review high-intensity interval training, HIIT. HIIT is a training technique in which you give all-out 100% effort through a quick, intense burst of exercise, followed by short, sometimes active recovery periods. This type of training gets and keeps your heart rate up and burns more fat in less time. Fat loss helps improve glycemic control through increasing insulin sensitivity and improving cardiovascular endurance. This form of exercise is not recommended for those who have cardiac arrhythmias such as atrial fibrillation. Here is an example of a HIIT workout. Set your treadmill to a 2% incline. Walk at a comfortable pace for 5 minutes. This is known as your warm-up. Then increase the speed to a pace that achieves a level of 8 or 9 out of 10 on the difficulty scale. Do this for 20 to 30 seconds. After 20 to 30 seconds, rest or go at a slow pace for 90 seconds. You will repeat this for 6 to 10 rounds. You will then cool down and stretch for 5 minutes. Lastly, progressive muscle relaxation is a form of exercise that can be used by those who have contraindications to other forms of exercise. We will review the contraindications on the next slide, don't worry. It teaches you how to relax your muscles through a 2-step process. Step 1, tension. The first step is applying muscular tension to a specific part of the body. This step is essentially the same regardless of which muscle group you are targeting. First, focus on the target muscle group. For example, your left hand. Take a slow, deep breath and squeeze the muscles as hard as you can for about 5 seconds. Step 2, relaxing the tense muscles. This step involves quickly releasing the tense muscles after about 5 seconds of the firm hold to let all the tightness flow out. Exhale as you do this step. The video link at the beginning of the exercise part of this lesson on progressive muscle relaxation walks you through a basic routine that is a great stepping stone into mastering this exercise modality. There are contraindications to exercise that we will briefly review here. Please always review concerns you may have about exercise with your primary care provider. I'm going to list the contraindications to exercise now. Uncontrolled blood pressure, which is a systolic or the top number in your blood pressure of greater than 200, or a diastolic, the bottom number of your blood pressure, greater than 110, should be reviewed with your provider before starting any exercise program. Hypotension, or low blood pressure, any recent blood loss, active, untreated heart disease, severe aortic stenosis, which is a valvular heart disease, unstable acute heart failure, uncontrolled tachycardia, which is a fast heartbeat, or severe arthritic conditions are contraindications to many forms of exercise. Again, please review with your primary care provider if you fall into any of these categories. You may be able to develop a safe exercise plan that works for you in that case. So let's get going. Start slow. Gradually building exercise tolerance is a safe, healthy way to increase physical activity. For example, go for a 5 to 7 minute walk around your work during your breaks. After 1 week, increase this to 10 minutes or maybe even 20 minutes. You may do this 1 to 2 times per day. Set an eventual goal for 30 to 60 minutes of physical activity at least 5 days per week. Let's focus on personal goals. What would you like to accomplish by the end of the next visit? What are your long-term exercise goals? Setting goals is very important. We're going to review an exercise to set a goal that is specific for you. It's called a SMART goal. The next few slides will review how to complete this. Goal setting the SMART way. We have touched on the benefits of goal setting using the SMART tool sheet provided in your patient handbook. We are going to break down this method of goal setting over the next few slides. Setting SMART goals means you can clarify your ideas, focus your efforts, use your time and resources productively, and increase your chances of achieving what you want in life. S stands for specific. What do I want to accomplish? Why is this goal important? Who is involved? Where is it located? Which resources or limits are involved? M stands for measurable. How much? How many? How will I know when I have accomplished this? A stands for achievable. How can I accomplish this goal? How realistic is this goal based on other constraints such as financial factors? R is for relevant. A relevant goal can answer yes to these questions. Does it seem worthwhile? Is this the right time? Does this match our other efforts needs? Am I the right person to reach this goal? Is this goal applicable in the current socioeconomic environment? T is for time bound. When? What can I do 6 months from now? What can I do 6 weeks from now? What can I do today? It's your turn. Refer to the SMART Goals section of your handout to draft a goal that you would like to work on for the next week regarding physical activity. It could be incorporating one of the 2 different forms of lifestyle activities into your daily life. It could be to begin a walking endurance program. Be specific. The more specific, the better. I will give you a few minutes to start brainstorming a personal SMART goal. Then I will give you an example or 2 that I've come up with for myself. You may want to pause the video to give yourself additional time to draft your SMART goal. Here are 2 examples I have created. One involves a fitness-related goal and the other is a dietary-related goal. Goal number 1. Starting next week, I'm going to walk on my lunch break for at least 20 minutes, 3 days per week, aiming for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This goal will help me increase my physical activity level and improve my overall health. I will commit to this schedule for the next 3 months. Example 2. Starting March 1st, 2017, I will limit desserts after dinner, aiming to eat no more than 2 desserts per week. I will continue this for 3 months, versus vowing to never eat dessert again, which I know is not realistic for me. This goal will help reduce my calorie intake, help me establish a new nightly habit of not always needing dessert, and help improve my overall health. Setting a specific goal with a realistic time frame makes both these goals seem achievable. Setting yourself up for success with realistic goals is the first step to improving your health and fitness over time. Recording exercise is a great way to stay motivated and help regain focus once you feel you are off track. Please refer to pages 19 and 20 in your patient handbook, as you have been provided with an exercise log. It is fun to reflect back on all you have accomplished through logging. To summarize what we have reviewed today, exercise improves your muscles' ability to take in glucose from the bloodstream, also known as improving your insulin sensitivity. There are some contraindications to exercise: uncontrolled high blood pressure, severe heart disease, unstable heart disease, just to name a few. Brainstorming ways to overcome barriers that prevent you from exercise will be the first step to reach your physical activity goals. Endurance training, strength training, HIIT, and progressive muscle relaxations are the exercise techniques we have reviewed today. Set SMART goals. Start slow.